Hello, it's been a while. We're back with a review of Ted 2, as you can tell by the picture on the screen currently, unless you're listening to us and I just sound like an idiot. My name is Jay. I'm joined by Phillip and my wife Liz, and we're going to discuss Ted 2. So, the plot of Ted, this will be a spoiler heavy review. Just want to get that clear and out of the way. But the movie starts off with Ted. He's in a marriage that's a lot of conflict, a lot of fighting, and like all Americans, they decide to have a baby to make the marriage better. And from there, it's just Ted trying to, find how to have a baby, and then he realizes that he's property. So now it's his fight for civil rights is pretty much the plot of the movie. Um, I'll go first. I think I liked it the most out of the three of us.
Mm.
So, Ted 2. Ted 1 is a better movie. Ted 2 was really funny though. And for comedies, when you go into a comedy, as long as it makes you laugh, in my feelings, it does its job. So I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought it would. I went in with really, really low expectations and it exceeded it. My favorite part of the movie is where Patrick Warburton is dressed up as the Tick and Michael Dorn is dressed up as Worf. That's not funny. I don't know what it is. I mean, only the nerds are gonna get it. And there's a few people that chuckled in the theater, but a lot of the people didn't know what was going on. But that that was good, and I like the chemistry with Amanda Seyfried better with Mark Wahlberg than I did with Mila Kunis. I buy them as a couple more so than I did before. So there are a few things I like more about Ted One. Ted One is still the higher up. This isn't the 22 Jump Street of the franchise. It's not as good as the first one, but it is miles better than any comedy sequel I've seen. Next to Jump Street or Austin Powers or Wayne's World 2. So it's not the Ace Ventura 2 of the franchise or the Dumb and Dumber. So that's a good sign, right? Liz, your thoughts?
I did not like it as much as Jason did. Um, it was funny. I thought the movie was way, way too long. Like too long.
That could have been half-hour trailers too.
No, the movie itself was just too long. There was points in it that just didn't. There was no rhyme or reason to it. You would think something would happen, like when they're in the pot field. I'm like waiting for somebody to come shoot them or set it on fire. No, they just sit around the campfire and sing, and then go get their car. They're magically back on the freeway. But I mean, overall, it was funny. There was good parts of it. It just felt very, very long.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. There's definitely certain moments that were long, but another thing I really liked about it is it's not the same story as the first movie. I mean, sure, Giovanni is in the movie, but they do it different enough that it's not the same, and the rest of the movie is far from the same plot as the first movie. Not that there is really much of a plot in this movie, but the first one was plot heavy. So yeah, I mean it's a comedy. It made us all laugh, but it was long. I very much so agree with that.
And I was kind of disappointed they got a divorce or whatever because the entire first movie, like that's all it was him proving himself and he loved her and they're gonna get married and then it's like the second movie erased all of that.
Yeah, but I thought they wrote that off very well because in the movie they even make a point because the first Ted movie he's changing himself to be with Mila Kunis. So when he kept saying I woke up one day and realized that I wasn't who wanted to be, I bought that because that was pretty much the plot of the whole first movie was her trying to change him.
Then if he was unhappy with that relationship, why was it a year and a half of him mourning it?
Um,
Well,
Everybody mourn. You always
love.
mourn bad relationships. I mourned a bad relationship. It happens.
Well, but it doesn't have to be a bad relationship, right? He loved her. He cared about her. The problem was he didn't like who he was becoming. He realized he was going to be unhappy. So then what does that mean, right? Then it gets complicated. It's do I stay because I love, but what about me not feeling happy? So I think
So
that's more
it
philosophical.
seems like he was just damned whether or not. Like
Yeah.
if he stuck with her, then he
Yep.
had her. and then he went a year and a half of being miserable, but then he found that chick. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not a better one. Like I said, the chemistry was better. Philip, what are your thoughts on this movie?
So I'm somewhere. I don't know. I'm definitely not in your camp, Jason. But I realize what happened. I didn't go in with high expectations, but I went in with moderate expectations because I saw a few of the trailers and I was like, oh, okay, it looks like they're actually like got it quite a bit reserved, and that much that is true. Like if you've seen the trailers, you haven't seen all the jokes, so they were good there. My issue was it was long. The beginning was a waste. They didn't need to show me the marriage. Didn't matter. His proposal, that whole beginning ceremony. Just start with them fighting each other and then magically lead into the ceremony. And then the whole them going around, like the gag for Tom Brady, I guess worked. It didn't really work for me.
I thought that was hilarious. I did. I'm sorry.
I like the raincoat part.
I did too. He looked like Paddington.
Yes, that I loved. I love the fact that he was basically a dirty Paddington. And I agree with you. One of the funniest scenes of the movies where it was Comic-Con. Because I agree with you, Liz. The pod field, I thought we were about to get something kind of cool, and then it stopped. And I was like, okay. And so I think that was my problem with the beginning. It's just the beginning. It was too much setup for what lacked in the plot. So, I mean, I think if I were just thrown into the middle of it and had to figure out what the hell happened, I would have been better off with it and then them explaining it.
Well, even if in the beginning, if they did like a Star Wars type thing where it's going up the screen, it tells you what happened in the last year. We would have been good. No, exactly. They're divorced. They got married. Now they're fighting.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, to me, that was the hilarious part, was the two of them fighting, and then the whole...
I loved it when the guys were yelling at each other, and then that woman yelled at them. They're like, sorry, she's our enemy now. It's like, oh my God, that was hilarious.
Yeah. So this one, so I would say, and it's not a bad thing, but if you love Family Guy, you'll love this movie. Mm-hmm. If you love Ted, you may not love this movie. That's the way I would describe this movie, is because this movie was his ability to bridge Family Guy into a feature-length film. And I think that's why at times I felt like it was long, because it wasn't like Ted where it felt like a movie, and it wasn't like A Million Ways to Die in the Past.
Million Ways to Die
West.
A fuck tart of a movie. Anyway.
But overall, I mean, I definitely think it's worth a watch, but just don't go there expecting the first one. And as long as you enjoyed the first one and you enjoy Family Guy, you'll be fine.
I agree. I think it was before our podcast on Tuesday. You said the beginning and the end felt like Family Guy, and the middle felt like Ted. It did. The big fight at the end, and the beginning, the wedding felt. I just did coke with some guy. I bet you can't point him out, and then you see that was awesome. I was laughing. That was good. But yeah, I mean, overall, it made you laugh. So.
Yeah.
My other complaint was the whole plot story with the bad guy that like panned out to nothing.
It was just there.
That's why it felt like Family Guy.
But yeah, the movie could have equally did without it, and it still would have had the same thing, other than the Starship Enterprise wouldn't have practically killed him. But
I think McFarlane just wanted to throw Giovanni a line.
No, he's not a bad actor. I don't know. I mean, I've seen him in other things, but yeah, it's funny. I mean, so I guess for me, it was okay, but it felt like rehashed. I mean, I did like the scene where he was singing. Oh gosh, I can't even think of it. Sweet Caroline, and he got Ted to come out, and then I love the fact that he starts playing Tiffany. I think I'm alone now. Or we're alone now. And then he starts dancing in a Ninja Turtle suit. That was cool, but I don't necessarily think he had to be in it just for that.
Right. Yeah. It was almost like a waste of his talent, but that's just my opinion.
All right. Well, first, before we do the ratings for Ted 2, Philip, what would you have given Ted 1?
I wanted to rewatch it, but I couldn't convince Ale. I'm going to have to go like a 7.5.
Wow. Liz, what were yours? What would your rating for Ted 1 be?
Like, I would say an 8.5.
I'd go 8. That's the number that's in my mind. Because it was a solid movie, well-rounded, beginning, middle, end. But Ted 2, I'm going to start this one off because I'm the most optimistic out of the group. I'm going 7.5 for Ted 2. It's not as good as the original. It's a good enough comedy sequel. Comedies. I just wanted this movie to make me laugh. It made me laugh, so I recommend it. That's all I can ask for, especially after A Million Ways to Die in the West. Oh, I hated that movie.
I would say 6.
Yep, that's what it's getting from me, Jason. A 6. That was my problem. I need to rewatch Ted because I don't think I would have given it a 7.5, but I knew I was giving this movie a 6, and so I was like, I know it was better. I don't know if it was significantly better. And I guess for me, I didn't go in comparing it to A Million Ways to Die in the West. I knew it wasn't going to be that, but I think that's the difference for both of us. Is A Million Ways to Die in the West, I expected skits throughout a whole movie of skits, which is what it was, with a plot trying to tie all the skits together.
Honestly,
this I expected a plot.
Probably if you're baked watching Ted 2, then you'd have a different output, I'm sure.
Oh, guaranteed.
All right, we'll get Max's opinion on Tuesday. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's worth watching. I think we all agree on that. At least once. Maybe wait till it comes out on video. But yeah, it's not the worst comedy sequel ever. It's not Caddyshack 2, right?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I've seen worse comedy sequels, but yeah.
Yep. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube. We have a lot of cool stuff coming down the line. I think I'm going to try to do a review of Terminator Genesis this weekend with a Y, and that will probably be a fun thing to talk about. And did I get all of our plugs in? Check us out on iTunes, 3 Geeks. Join our event on Facebook. We're going to be giving away some really cool prizes at the middle of September. So check us out. For all of us, have a good night.